Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. I'm ready to start my third round of painting for today on this illustration here. I went through and double checked, looked at all my little boundaries here. I had missed a little bit of some of the edges, so I redid or added more of the masking fluid. So now I'm going to paint the background. I looked at a few reference images. What I want to do is make an aurora type of sky. But I've never tried anything like this, never even practiced it, so this is going to be totally an experiment. Hopefully it works out. What I'm going to do first is get the background all wet. All the area where I've already put mask, either masking tape or masking fluid, should be safe. I haven't put anything here, so I'm going to be careful about this area. I'm going to go all the way to the top because I have lines here to tell me where the 9x12 size is, but I can't tell where it ends on the top. So to be safe, I'm going to go all the way. And I'm hoping this won't take too long, this little portion of work, because this is not even the last thing I have to do, and I'm starting to get physically tired, but I really want to finish this before December, which is tomorrow. So if I can get this done, scanned in, ordered as both postcards and greeting cards. Postcards for my Patreon supporters and greeting cards for my friends and family for Christmas. Then it will be like I'm starting December on the right foot, like I'm ahead of the game. Normally I'm like making my Christmas card art at the last minute or like really close to the last minute. And it makes the whole month feel rushed and like, oh, I don't have time to do anything. That like this, I can have a little bit more time to do the other stuff I want to do before the year is over. So, this is all nice and wet. I'm not going to use this brush, at least not yet. I'm going to use my biggest round brush and get tons and tons of green watercolor paint on it. Really load it up. And then I'm just going to do big swipe. Now, actually, I will use the bigger brush now to swipe it up for that aurora effect. Keep my brush really dry. That way I can get a lot of those lines that really make it look like an aurora. And let's get some more pigment. And even some darker. Add some darker green in. Oh. Swipe. Swipe the dark green up. Let's see. I'll put this here. So I can put that there. And now I saw a picture that looked really cool. It had like pink aurora color. And it always seemed to be above green. So I'm going to do a pink one. Hopefully the paper is still wet enough. And now I use my fairly dry brush, brush it up. That was louder than I expected. Let's get some more pink. I thought this would be a darker background, but it's turning out more vibrant. I think it will be darker once I add in some dark blue for the actual normal sky color. But now it's damp brush time. Brush it straight up for that aurora effect. I really hope this masking tape holds up. If not, I'll figure it out. Now maybe I will do one more. See, I did see a sort of bluish aurora. Maybe I should just go ahead and add like a blue-green. I'll make it blue-green color. Ooh, that's lovely. That is a lovely color. Alright, let me make sure this is still wet enough. Okay. And once again, damp brush, brushing up. Now a little bit more of this color. This turned out pretty cool. I didn't expect to end up with such a rainbowy background. Now I'm gonna just add some darker blue for like a normal sky color, typical sky color. Still gonna add it while it's all wet like this. Hopefully that won't be a bad thing. But like I said, this is all a big experiment for me. Use this to blend it, even out the color. Add a little here. Still kind of damp here, but it's not wet enough for what I want to do. Add just a little bit of this dark blue in between these two colors. A lot to this corner. Yeah, that's looking pretty cool. I thought I'd have a dark background. This actually turned out more like a rainbow, and that's perfectly fine with me because I love rainbow. I love a rainbow. I do want to get a little more dark shades in here. Make a deeper blue. Add it in. do. I'm dual wielding my brushes. But now I'm going to do another dark green. Trying to keep this wet. Don't want any hard edges, at least not yet. Okay, that's a little too dark. Add some more of this vibrant green. Ooh, there we go. Maybe a little bit more. I'm not going to spread that one out. I'm just going to let that dry. I'm working so wet here. I need another paper towel. Trying to get the green out. A nice darker pink. I'm going to add some purple to it. Oh, I wish my palette would stay still. Got that nice green. I want to do the same with this pink. Okay, now damp brush. In fact, I'm going to go get a dry brush. Little tiny dry brush. Swipe upwards. Now, I've done all of this, but it's really not as dark as I want it. I don't mind the rainbow, but I want this to be darker. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to dip into the black. I really hope this tape and stuff is holding up and protecting the underneath part. This make sure this is wet enough. Okay, here I go. want to overdo it. So I'm going to lose my Aurora look. Trying to find that balance. I think I might be there though. Because it doesn't have to be super dark like a perfectly black night sky or anything. And it doesn't have to look exactly like an aurora looks in real life. Just want the effect, and I think I'm getting it. Okay, one more time. I'm going to dip. Build up a ton of pink and then a ton of green. Give them one last super bright stripe. Okay, green's turn. Crazy amount of green. That's my brush hitting the palette walls. If you're wondering what that clicking is. Now I did make that last color, I've kind of forgotten about it, but I did have a sort of bluish stripe here, so let me make myself a blue color for that. Maybe I'll add a little bit, not too much, a little bit of white. Done with that. At least my towel definitely looks like an aurora. Now time to use this dry brush and swipe up. Really hoping this looks cool, and also hoping that I masked well enough. If I didn't, there's not going to be much I can do about it, so I'm just going to have to enjoy the process. Okay, the page is so wet now I can't really tell what I'm looking at, so I think I better stop. I do like how it's looking. Now I gotta let it dry. I guess while I let the page dry, I can dab these areas that were masked so that if the paint is getting in, I can try to get as much as I can out. looking okay, but you never know until you take the mask off. Oh, some might have got under here. Yeah. And maybe I can't rely on masking tape in the future. At least not for something like this. Suppose I can dab off all the masking tape, and then if there is anything on there, it should still be wet, so it would be salvageable. Okay, let's start peeling. I don't have the thumbnail, dang it. It's so hard to use my other hand. I draw with this hand, but utilitarian tasks, it's a different story. Oops, yep, a little bit got in. Wow, a lot got in here. This black masking tape isn't as good as the white kind. Yeah, it's like after it got wet, the adhesive turned to mush. At least I can dab away what's still wet. Yeah, that's where that tape was all wrinkled. I guess painting on the masking fluid didn't really help. This bit doesn't want to come off. What the heck? Is this a piece of masking tape or This one's stuck on really good. I don't know why the other ones didn't do as well. Well, this one didn't do very well. Alright, well, the masking tape is off. These lines right here where the masking fluid is still there. So, what I'm going to do to try to get rid of these lines, scrub them. Means I'll also be scrubbing the snow texture away, but you can always try to redo that. And a smaller brush. As you scrub, you can dab. Scrub and dab. And that will help lift off the paint. Doesn't work 100%, but will help get rid of this extra paint that the masking tape failed to stop. Turn off my space heater. Oh, finally warm enough again. As soon as I leave my room, it's so cold and it takes forever for me to warm up again. Fire of the Soul AJ. Man, I haven't seen you in ages. How have you been? Thank you for joining me. Storming hard where you live. Like a winter storm? Snowstorm? We just got a notification here that we have a snowstorm on its way. It's not going to be too bad or anything, but the notification was like, well, since it's the first snow of the season, accumulating snow is how they put it. They're sending out a warning, even though it's not, they don't normally send out warnings for so little snow. But it's like people need to start getting used to driving in snow again. I guess that's their logic. Alright, let's see. I'm still scrubbing. I don't know, maybe I'll try to... paper's still wet. Gonna try to get this paint off. At least lighten it up or blend it. Just rainstorm. Wish it was snow. You like snow? I like anything that most people don't like for when it comes to weather. Like, I love rain, but I also love snow, as long as I don't have to drive in it. If I have to drive in it, then it sucks, because my car is terrible. It's awful in snow. A lot of people where I live actually like snow because they like to do, snowboarding and skiing and all that stuff. I don't really do that stuff. I just like to romantically enjoy it with a cup of hot cocoa, that kind of thing. Reading a book. I don't know what I'm going to do about Bear's face. It's got paint on it, or I don't want it. It's too bad. The tape didn't hold up. Failed me utterly. Used it before with success, so I don't know what was different about this time. Yes, and it hardly snows down here in southern USA. I also found out that I have an accent, but it's very small, and I also found that I'm 42% Irish on my mom's side. What kind of accent do you have? I have a California accent, and once in a while my Texas accent from when I was a little kid comes out. Especially if I've been drinking. If I drink a lot, sometimes the Texas comes out a lot. But I also have I talk to myself a lot and read more than I speak accent. At least this bit of blue is actually perfectly shaped to this shadowy area. And 42% Irish, eh? Pretty sure I'm Irish, or at least some form of Celtic heritage, just because I've got, well, it's a lot more gray, but I had pretty red, dark, very dark red, not flaming red, but very dark red hair, and lots of freckles. It's like I have a freckle per minute spent in the sun without sunscreen on. Yep, this paint is not lifting up as well as I hoped, so I might have to do something else to obscure it. I can probably use my sponge to paint on more of these colors, and it will look like it's just blending in with the background colors, like they are casting their light onto the surface. I used to watch Doctor Who a lot when I was little, the old ones. My mom told me I like to talk with a British accent as well when I was little. That's cute. Sometimes the way British English works makes more sense to me, and so I use it anyway, not as an accent thing, but just the logic of it. I can't think of an example right now, but I think it's less with speaking and more with writing. Well, from now on I know not to trust my masking tape. Especially not this new black roll of this new one I got. It was the worst. This one actually did fairly well, though it still let in a lot of paint, but the black one was like it totally failed. Black tape. Guess it's only good for holding my paintings down if I'm taping them down for some reason. Okay, I need a new paper towel. This one is all wet. Coming off a bit. This part is coming off a bit. Yay! I've been working all this stuff. I wonder if any of it is dry enough. Yeah, I think this section is dry enough for me to start getting the masking fluid off. You just got to keep picking the masking fluid off of this adhesive eraser as you go. It starts collecting on there and eventually gets to the point where you can't get any more off because it's just kind of rolling the adhesive against each other. Like these little black things. Glad I'm not allergic to latex. That's all this is, liquid latex. I wonder if they make allergy safe masking fluid. That would be interesting. You're still wet, you're still pretty wet. This part's dry. Wow, even some of the masking fluid didn't hold up. That's too bad. Wow, I really like how this background is drying. It's got the cool effect I wanted, especially right here. It turned out really good. That makes me pleased since I just sort of made it up as I went. You should maybe use the kind of clear masking tape that's also yellow. I think I know what you're talking about. I think that might have been what this was. I ran out. But there might be some better brand too. Because this black one, this new black one that I got was, you know, just off-brand, the cheapest thing on Amazon type of thing. Because I know there are watercolorists out there who use masking tape for effects because they have an example of it in my favorite watercolor technique book. There's definitely masking tape out there that works. Yeah, there's just something about my application that was off this time. Just feeling the paper if it doesn't feel sticky anymore, then I got all of the masking fluid off. It's so sticky. I like the new actor for the Doctor, Jodie Whittaker. Oh, good. I've been wanting to see her. I haven't. So 9th and 10th Doctor is my fave. I didn't see 11th Doctor. I just kind of, it got overwhelming. Like I couldn't keep up anymore with the show. And then when they heard they were making a female Doctor, I was like, yes. It's time to get back in. It's time to jump back in. But I haven't done it yet. Even though I'm seeing her pictures on like the Doctor Who like calendars, you know, for 2019 and stuff. I'm like, yay. You should watch this season on Amazon when it's fully out and available for free with Prime. Sweet, I didn't know that it would be available on Amazon Prime. I had to think about that for a second. I love Amazon Prime. I've had Amazon Prime ever since they came out with the student version. And I had that for 4 years, and even though I haven't graduated yet, I still got the 4 years of student. Peter Capaldi. He is the one I haven't seen anything of yet. So I don't know, I could have my numbers wrong about which Doctor is which number. I'm so bad with all the actors' names. Like if someone says the name to me, then I'll be like, oh yeah, that one. I can't remember them all. I haven't seen much of the original Doctor, but I liked those old episodes. I saw a few little, I think 1 or 2, because my husband was like way into it, and he was getting every possible DVD there was available, and that kind of thing. Let's see. This paper's not holding up that well this time. I don't know what's different. Cut off a couple little pieces of the actual paper is coming off. I haven't had that happen with these masking techniques before either. Well, if Peter Capaldi is your favorite Doctor, maybe that's another thing I should get caught up on too. Is that season on Prime? or seasons. I don't remember how long. Like, nobody sticks around very long anymore to be a doctor. Seems like everybody's like maybe 2 or 3 years and then they're done. Yep, even some of the masking fluid didn't work this time. Can't think what I did different from the last 2 illustrations I've done. He portrayed the 12th incarnation of the Doctor in Doctor Who, and Malcolm Tucker, the Spin Doctor in The Thick of It, for which he's received 4 British Academy Television Award nominations, winning Best Male Comedy Performance in 2010 from Google. All the newer ones on Prime. Sweet. That makes it easy for me to watch. Because I think I actually have Prime. One of our wedding presents a couple of years ago was a smart TV. I think Amazon Prime Video just works directly on the TV. Usually just turn on the PS4 and watch Crunchyroll though. That's my favorite thing to watch stuff on. Might be fun for me to just start at the beginning of whatever Amazon has for Doctor Who. And even if I've watched it already, that way it'll remind me of what I've seen but forgotten about. Whew, this is a chore. Slowly coming off though. Oh, here we'll try a piece of latex. If I do it on this side, it might be a little easier. Well, it's at least different. It's using different muscles. Gonna go watch Rob Switch's Jackbox Friday. Maybe join in as Wobonion, because that's what I am on most SM. Oh, you're heading out then? Glad you were able to stop by at all. It's really nice to have someone to talk to. And I haven't seen you in a while. So it's also nice just to see you on here and know you're still around. Almost got half of this stuff off. Ooh-wee. Sweating. Oh, wob onion. Also might be tomorrow or maybe later. So I don't go to Twitch much. Just watch Pyro Cynical on YouTube constantly. Yeah, it's the same for me actually. Not going on Twitch very often to watch. Like I stream during my work hours because I'm doing my work. Art is my work, so then by the time I'm done, I've got other stuff to do, or I'm tired and I want to do something that's not on my computer. I wonder if I'm shaking the camera like crazy doing this. I think my table's shaking. Oh yeah, it looks like it. Whew, this stuff is so sticky. Man, at first when I tried this masking fluid, I was like, oh, it says you can remove it by rubbing your finger on the page, and so I did that. I didn't get one of these in preparation for using the masking fluid, and I'm sure glad I only had a very small space that I covered with it, because it was really painful rubbing my finger on the page for so long. If I tried to do that with this, I'd probably have given myself a blister. Oh, I'm more than halfway done now. And then gotta work on how to make these paint splotches blend in so it doesn't look like it was a mistake. That's what I was saying. That's what I like about traditional art. I like figuring out how to make stuff work. Not that I wanted this to happen, but I knew it was a possibility. If I was afraid of that possibility, then I would have just done this with digital media. Then you've got all the layers and you don't have to worry about cross-contamination. Guess that's a good word for it. I can't believe that some paint even got in under the liquid mask. I did it again. Under the masking fluid. I can feel where I missed the spot. Man, this thing just sticking to me like crazy. Feeling for any sticky spots where I might have missed. I can't wait till I'm done with this because it really is making me sweat like crazy. Didn't know I'd be getting a workout. I also hope this doesn't take too long to finish this piece because I wanted to be done by like 11 at the latest because I wanted to go get a Pokestop before midnight so I don't lose my streak in Pokemon Go. Feeling around for any remaining masking fluid. Oh, that's the paper. Well, this works out anyway because what I wanted to do, one of the final details I wanted to do was adding in some of the colors because I didn't know what colors I'd use up here. So I'm going to do it at the end. Add some of those colors in down here as if the light is shining down on this scene. My hand is really tired from using this thing. Now, should I try scrubbing anymore or should I just give up and start tapping in some extra color? And my hand is super dry from that. Right, that's the paper. Guess I'll try scrubbing some of these most obvious areas. Ooh, dropped my brush. I always do that. Well, not always, but I do that. And it bothers me because I don't know why. Try to reposition my brush or my pencil and it just goes flying out of my hand instead. At least getting all of that mask off allowed the background to put in pretty much dry. Yeah. Might be the slightest bit damp, but for the most part it's dry now. Which means I can continue painting on it when I'm ready. Yeah, there's not much more color that I can scrub off. Scrub off or blend out. Those are the two things I'm trying to do here. Whichever one happens is useful. I need some more paper towels. These are all totally wet and full of pigment. I'm glad I brought down my own roll of paper towels to keep in here. I've said that like a million times today, but it's because it's true. Okay, let's do some sponging. I don't want it to be too wet. And when I do this, it makes it look like it was on purpose. Actually, I think that's good for the pink. Great thing is, disguising it is super easy because you can tell exactly which color needs to go because the color that escaped is the color that's right next to it, and that's the color I would have wanted to use anyway. I should add some on Bear's ears. Actually, add a little bit darker color. Ooh, not that dark. A little bit more water. Bringing color down here on the snow too. So now I need a little darker blue kind of color. Yep, in the end, it's like I meant to do it all along. I think that's one of the biggest things I've learned doing art for so long, is how to not freak out when something doesn't go the way I expected. Instead, just start troubleshooting and thinking about ways to use it. I'm dabbing off the sponged on paint that's getting on the sky. So I don't really want that sponge texture on the sky, I want a smooth texture. Yeah, it's okay, it won't hurt anything if it's on there, but it'll be nicer if it's nice and smooth. This part should have a little green actually. Add some more of this blue-green onto Bear. Really tie him in and really make it look like All that extra color was on purpose. I hope this guy's that little mark right there that was not on purpose. Yeah, I think that looks really good, because it really does tie it into the background. Do a little pink. Oh, that's not turning out pink. A little pink. Dab down here. So that it really does look like a reflection of the sky. Okay, what I'm going to do next for details is redo some of the brown on Bear and on these snow cats, because it got lost when I took off the mask. So I'll use this brush again. This has been my brush of choice all day. Although, I'm going to switch back to this big one for mixing my color. This brush looks really pretty right now. I don't know if it comes across well on the camera, but it's got like the pink, the green, and the blue, and they're like in stripes. It's like the aurora is in my brush. Of course, when I wash it, that'll all come out, but that's for the best, so it doesn't get transferred to another painting in the future. Alright, got my warm kind of brown. Now I want to get some dark brown. Add that in there. And I want to add in a little blue to cool the color down. Oh wow, that made it a totally different color. Need more brown. I'll just stick with that for now. See how it goes. And you know what? This whole time I've been working without my glasses. Ooh, that's much better. So my glasses aren't necessary for me to see, so I forget to put them on, but whenever I put them on, it's like, oh yeah, that's why I have glasses. This color is too dark. Spread it out with a damp brush. Ooh, that's much better. Yeah, these ones really need it because they've got a lot of green on them too. This will help them stand out and look like they're not covered by the light, but just being affected by the light. One last set. Whew. Oh yeah, bear's fur. Let's start with his tail. Looking good. Keeps feeling like it's wet right here, but maybe just the page is kind of cold. I did want to give Bear an even darker fur shade. So I'm gonna get this back for a second. So when I was looking at him in person, his fur definitely is dark brown rather than black, or at least not black like our actual black cat, but it is a super, super, super dark brown. Much darker than what I've done here. There. I think that's probably good. I really like this color I've got going on in here. Let me show you. I don't know how good it'll look, but it's like a mixture of blue and two browns and black. I think it looks really neat. And it's just my palette. It's just my palette of colors. Alright, let's get painting with this really dark color. What I especially wanted this color for was around Bear's ears. That's what particularly struck me when I was looking at him. This part is just super, super dark. Bring it down into his forehead fur. His hood, I guess, is the official term. The official Cat Fanciers Association term. Oh yeah, that's looking good. I'm going to add some more of this super dark color to his tail. The only reason his tail isn't quite as dark looking as his ears, I think, is because it's so fluffy that the light is able to shine through it, so it lightens up the color a little bit. Is that good? I think this darker shade is perfect. It's really, really looking like Bear now. I already thought it was looking like Bear before. I wonder if I can move the background color a little bit. I masked too much right here. Maybe I can just fill in with some of this remnant paint. Just masked a tiny bit too much. These little blobs on the end of Bear's fur here. That's no good. No blobs. got one here too. A little bit more water. Oh, this seems like gray actually. Oh, no, I don't want this gray color. More like a... That's probably close enough. Looks pretty good. I'm liking it. Mix up a little bit of pink, a tiny bit of not pink got here in his mouth. Just gonna cover that up and blend it in with a little more pink. Now just kind of like a highlight or something. Okay, what else? What else can I do? Look at it like this. Some of these lines over here were there, I had to use the black tape. Are really obvious, but I'm going to sponge on some white gouache, and I hope that that will help disguise it better. I think I'm done with watercolor though. Ready to move on to my gouache and my glitter paint. So let me move my palette. I'm gonna get some paper to put the paint on. Ooh, I gotta go use the restroom real quick. I'm gonna be right back. Be right back. Shouldn't take more than a couple minutes at worst. Okay, I'm back. That didn't take too long. I realized recently that these little sample papers that I have from Art Snacks are actually perfect to use as tiny disposable palettes. So this way, I can put this acrylic on there and I don't have to worry about if it's gonna, let's see, I guess we'll use this again. It's going to dry on my palette and be a pain to get rid of. No, I'm getting it on myself again. It's like all the glitter goes down to the bottom. I'm going to scoop it out with my paintbrush. That's that is a lot. That's probably enough. Ooh, it looks so good. Alright, let's wipe this off. I think I got it. I think I cleaned it pretty good. I'm glad this paintbrush has actually been useful for something. It wasn't comfortable for me to use for painting, but using for dipping in here is pretty good. Okay, so I've got my glitter paint prepared. Now I need my acrylic gouache that I've been using. Where did I put it? Did I put it away like I should, or what? My paint section, it is. I wonder if I can maybe, but it didn't really work with the other one. Just wondering if I can salvage my snowflake stamp idea. Let's see. It's stuck. Come on. This has never happened before. No! Don't be stuck. Oh, there we go. Got it open. I got it open. Jeez. Alright, I need another paper towel. It's like I should just prepare a whole bunch of them before I start painting. Okay, well, that wiped off good. I'm going to wipe this off good so it doesn't get stuck again. I thought I wiped it pretty well last time, but I guess not. Okay, it's barely after 10. I wanted to get done by 11 at the latest, so I have time to go get a Pokestop before midnight and don't lose my streak in Pokemon Go. Okay, I think that's as good as it's getting. Close this back up. Let's see, I'm gonna try one more chance to this snowflake stamp. Maybe with the gouache rather than the glitter paint it'll actually work. It does seem more promising so far. Trying not to let too much get in the cracks because that's kind of a waste. Plus it'll dry on the stamp and I don't want it to. Okay, I'm going to just test it in my sketchbook. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Maybe it will work out. Can you see that? That looks really awesome. Yeah, I think I'll do that instead of, what am I trying to say? Oh, instead of sponging on. Although, I don't know, maybe I will still do sponging and also do the snowflake. But if I'm going to do the snowflake, I'm going to have to do it all at once. So should I do snowflake first? I think I should do snowflake last. So I'm going to be right back again so that I can rinse this off. Since it's acrylic wash, it's going to dry on here and will never come off again. I'm back. So this is going to work great. Took a bit of scrubbing, but I was able to get all of the paint out of here. And I think I actually will use at least this stamp too, because before my idea was to stamp, like mask the sky off and then stamp so that you only saw the snowflakes on the snow cats. But now that I've come this far, I don't want to deal with that anymore, so I'll do like smaller ones toward the top, and then they can get bigger. Heck, I might even use this little teeny tiny one for the very top. I don't want too many, I don't want to obscure the painting, but just add cool little thing. Now for the glitter paint, I think I'm going to use a sponge. I was thinking that I could use it to add sort of a starry effect in the sky here and there, and also add some shimmer to the snow itself. Oh, I have a little cat hair in my sponge. May my sponge rinse clean of all the glitter. The glitter's already dry. Wake up, glitter. I don't know if this is going to work. My little disposable palette taking a beating. Alright, here we go. Here it's alright to just do it all over because it can be sparkles in the sky and sparkles in the snow. I don't know how this is going to scan in, so I don't know what the digitized version, print version will look like, but I like how it's turning out in real life. It looks really cool, if I do say so myself. Wow, that's a big piece of glitter. I don't need that. It's like a shred of glitter instead of a little glitter of glitter. Ooh, big glitter. I need the tinier glitter. Well, it is what it is. See the effect on the camera. This is actually perfect because I always feel like snow, both in the sunlight and the moonlight, looks like just glittering gems. It's just so lovely. Ugh, this acrylic paint stinks. Gosh. I actually need a little more. Use my scooping brush. It dries so fast. It's because this is craft paint rather than like artist's paint, but you can't get artist paint that has glitter in it, so it's the only choice. Because I've never seen it. I've never seen artist paint with glitter. I've seen metallic. Actually, I have a lot of metallic paint. Okay, Spongy. Let's do this again with this fresh batch of glitter paint. Glitter paint is totally what I wanted. looks so good. I like it a lot. Glitter paint. It's too bad the glitters turn out kind of dark looking, but don't know what else to do about it other than maybe I can lift off a few of these big ones. Some of these huge ones don't need a... Ooh, I'm flying. Don't need these gigantic pieces. Like the little circle ones, but some of these square, like huge confetti style ones are more than even I want. And I am I love glitter. For this painting, it doesn't really give off the look of stars, which is what I wanted. Maybe I can at least, just try to get them off. This glitter paint actually has a huge amount of different types. There's these huge, like, roughly chopped angular pieces, and then there are more like punched out round, actually more like hexagonal pieces, and then there are little tiny delicate colored pieces of glitter, just so small, more like shimmer. You'd call it shimmer rather than glitter because they're just so tiny. And there's also a few little round ones. They're the same size as the hexagons, but they're like translucent colors rather than this silver metal that looks so dark. After I finish fine-tuning this, I'm going to have to go wash my sponge and my brush so that the glitter doesn't dry in it, since it's all acrylic. You let that acrylic dry in your brush, you're kind of screwed getting it back out again. Almost impossible. How's that? Is that a little more even? Not as much over the top. Some of these are just look like a little too much because it's a big group. How are we doing now? It does look really pretty. I don't think I like this. Spread that out. Actually, I'll just take that piece off since it's stuck to the brush. Sweet. I think this is good for the glitter paint. Here's this one. Can I move this one? Yeah, that's a little bit much for a snowman. Snow cat. Some of these I think might just fall off because they're so easy to move. It seems like they're not actually, there's not enough paint to hold them down or something. Okay, I'm gonna put out my be right back again. There on Bear's face. I'm gonna go rinse these out, get all this glitter off. I am back again. You might have heard a meowing happening. All the kitties came to see me. Barry came to see me, and then Kiba came to see me, and then when I walked out of the bathroom, there was Kiki at the top of the stairs. Okay, done with the glitter paint. Now, hopefully this hasn't dried. I want to sponge in some of this white acrylic gouache. Especially on these snow cats to help mask that area where I got too much colored paint. Dang it, every time I pull out a kitty hair out of my sponge, another one appears. How's that, little snow cats? Oops, getting a bunch of this on my hand. think they're looking really snowy. Maybe even a little too snowy. I can't take it back now. Just gotta keep moving forward. I think I've done a good job of incorporating those lines that weren't created on purpose. Just making them look like they were on purpose. Okay, once again, since this is acrylic, I'm going to be right back. I'm gonna rinse this out. Alright, sponge is back. I think I'm done with sponge actually. I'm back too, of course. Just drying my hand off in cold sink water. Whew, I wonder how long I've been streaming for. Does this thing tell me? No. About my streaming software. Oh, I've had another 2 hours. So it's gonna be, I think, 7 hours of work in total once I'm done. Or 6.5. So my first stream was 2 hours 15 minutes. My last stream was like 1 hour and 50 minutes. That sort of balances out. But now I am almost to another 2 hours and 15. Alright, let's see. Okay, time to snowflake. Oops. Well, freaking kitty hair. Shall I use this brush or should I use a bigger one? No, you don't, kitty hair. Get down. And kitty hair I took off of my hand, tried to fly right into my painting. Alright. Acrylic gouache. Oops. Just lightly paint this. I don't want too many snowflakes, so maybe I'll do 3. And I'll do 3 of each size. But I don't know. There's no reason to do any particular amount other than don't do too many. Let's see, let's put one right here. This is what I had hoped to do with the glitter paint, but I guess it was there's too much clear paint. Because it's just clear paint, clear acrylic with the glitter stuck in. Those look freaking adorable. course, I don't even know which ones will actually show up once I crop it down to size. So I'm going to crop it to 9 by 12. That's what I designed it to be. Of course, I'm painting outside of that on purpose. Let's do one right up here. I'm looking over at my screen to see where I think I need more. Never realized streaming would be so helpful just for being able to see my paintings and my drawings from a different angle. Neat. That's freaking adorable. That's so cute. Okay, I can rinse out my brush, but I don't know. Maybe I can use the brush to swipe off this gouache into the water. I don't want to have to keep getting up and going into the bathroom to rinse it off. But if I let it dry on there, it'll never come off again, so I don't want to ruin the stamp. If this doesn't come off, then I'm gonna go take it to the bathroom. Oh, looks like it came clean. Oh, there's a little bit right in there. How's that? Did you get it? Just a little bit right on the end of that one. Alright, I think that's good. Next size. Too bad I haven't got any audience right now. This is the funnest part of the painting. The details is always the funnest part. Especially since this is a total experiment for me. I've never done something like this with a stamp and painting on. This is truly a mixed media work. I will be glad when I'm done though, because my shoulders are killing me. Streaming 6 hours today, even with breaks, it's just like, oh, it's rough. Ooh, these stamps will also be perfect for masking areas where I got too much paint. Just another layer to help out with that. Stay still, tiny palette. Something's beeping me, and it's probably my calendar telling me it's time to go to bed if I want to get a nice 8 hours of sleep. But no, I am gonna finish this, and then tomorrow I can have fun all day, guilt-free. Let's see. I did 4 of those. If I do 4 of these, let's put one right here. Yeah, they don't really stand out much at all on the snow part. That's okay though. The main, what am I trying to say? The main character, I guess, is Bear. So even though I'm working on the background so that it looks just as well done and attended to as every other part of this, as long as Bear shines, that's what's important. I cute snowflake right there, and it covered up that spot where it was a little too much mask. So do 1, 2, 3, 4 on the top, so that's one more of this size for the mid. Oops, cat hair. No! No! No cat hair. You come out. Get on there. There. I wiped out my paper towel. Alright, where shall I put the fourth and last of this size? Guess I should put it on this side. And I'll put it on bare again. Oh, but that might be too close. Put it, ooh, where should I put it? I'll put it here. There it goes. Sweet. I'll rinse my brush out and then swipe off the paint off of this stamp. It would be best if I just had a sink in here. But then you'd have to hear the running water all the time. Although maybe you're hearing it anyway in the video. It's always surprising how much the video captures. All the sounds in the house. It just kind of feels like it should only capture what's in this room, but it captures pretty much everything. And stuff outside the house too. When a trash truck comes by, it's all loud. How's that? Looks clean. Yay! Time for... Oh, no, there's one little spot. One little spot. You're not drying in there, paint. I won't let you. Get out. There, I got it. Okay. Now, time for the big one. Trying to paint this with super light strokes so that it doesn't get too much paint into the cracks, because then it makes the paint go on the outside of the shape rather than only on the shape. I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay. Where should I put the first big one? I was imagining all the big ones in the hill. The whole reason I thought of this was just as a way to make it a little more interesting down here, since the snowy hill is kind of like just a bunch of white nothing, so maybe I'll fit them all down there like I originally imagined. Not really showing up very much, but that's okay. I know I already had that conversation with myself just recently. Don't know how well that'll show up in the digital version and prints, but looks pretty cool in real life. You can see the raised effect from where some of the paint comes off thicker, comes off of the stamp thicker. It's really neat. This will be one that's best to look at in person, I think. Alright, one more to be in the line with 4. Hey, that's perfect. Now I found a symbolism for how many snowflakes there are. 3 stamps, 4 times each. That's 12 snowflakes for the 12 days of Christmas. There we go. Yay! It's not an arbitrary number. Actually, it is, but I applied a meaning to it. What do they call that? Retroactively. I just like to have a lot of... I don't like to do stuff without some sort of reason why in my art. I like it to have a little bit of reasoning, I guess. Where should I put this? Put it right here, I guess. It's almost the same as the other side, but oh well. Hey Monk, welcome back! You caught me right at the end. I'm glad you could join me. It's been kind of lonely the last little bit here. Just got finished. I figured out how to use these snowflake stamps after all. I don't remember if you were here when I tried the glitter paint on the snowflakes and didn't work at all. But doing the white acrylic gouache paint works perfectly. So I'm happy because I bought these snowflakes for this painting. So I was kind of disappointed that it didn't seem like they'd work out. Just trying to clean off the paint so it doesn't dry. Since it's acrylic gouache, it will dry on here and never come off again if I don't clean it off right away. It looks so amazing. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I've been working so hard today on it. That makes me feel really good to hear that. Well, to read that, but I'm glad you could come see it right when it's almost done. We've just got a little bit of white left I want to apply to Bear and to the little stick whiskers on the snow cats. I really got to get this white paint off of this stamp first. Oh, and here's this. It gets stuck in the little cracks. Little cracks between the... Oops, it's dripping. No dripping on my painting. How's that? Use the light to see. Yeah, that's pretty good. There's the tiniest bit left, but nothing that'll hurt the stamp's use in the future. Yeah, this aurora turned out a lot brighter than I imagined, but I'm happy with it. I looked up I just searched aurora on Google before I started painting to get an idea of what colors I should use. I was, of course, thinking of the green. That's the kind that we actually get this far south. Me saying that in the north, but I saw some great pictures with pink, and the pink was always above the green in the pictures I saw. So I thought that would be good because it would tie in Bear's natural pink. Alrighty, where's my little tiny AB brush? Oh my gosh, Carletta, welcome! Oh, and you're hosting me, thank you. Yay, I'm so happy you two. I'm so happy you could be here. We're like almost done. I'm glad you could see what it's turning out like. It was perfect timing. You missed my blunder. I've completely hidden it by now, and nobody will know unless they watch my video. But it was exactly what I was talking about, that unknown quality. And you can never be quite sure how it's going to turn out. And then working with it when it doesn't turn out how you expect. That's what I actually really like. So I got to do that this time. And I really do think it looks the better for it. Because all the colors from the aurora are now all over the snow. I wouldn't necessarily have done it so boldly if I hadn't had a little mishap. get these whiskies with some highlights. They could either be just the wood shining, or the highlights could be a little bit of snow resting on the wood of these stick whiskers. Aw, you deserve all the love, Mika. You were so nice. You were so nice to me. What was the blunder? Okay, I'll tell you, since you can just watch the video anyway if you want to know. So the masking tape did not work that well, especially this black kind. It just totally, I don't want to use the word buckled, but I don't mean it in a literal way. I mean it in like a metaphorical way. It totally did not mask anything. As soon as it got wet, it lost its sticking power. The older tape I had, that's actual Duck brand, did a lot better, which was what I expected because I've used it before and it worked good for that same technique. So basically what I ended up with, especially on this side where I'd used the black tape, was a lot of lines where the paint seeped in under the, rectangular shapes. But I sponged in color from the top to be like the light is reflecting onto the snow, which is what I wanted to do anyway, but I just had to do it a little more bold in order to cover up the paint that I didn't want to be there. And then some of them were so extreme, the lines, again on this side with the black masking tape. I also sponged in this white gouache, which is good for the snow effect anyway. And then that really helped cover up there was like a straight line right here, and you can still kind of see it right here. There was a straight line right there. But even though that's like, I didn't want that to happen, it's still fun to figure out how am I gonna make this work. So if it was digital media, I could have just pressed undo. Let's see. I guess I'll finish the whiskeys first. Stick whiskeys, and then I'll go on to bear. Got this tiny brush, but it's not making as small of strokes as I wanted. I guess because the gouache is so thick that it's kind of pushing the bristles out instead of letting them come to a nice little point. Ugh. Got 10 minutes. I wanted to be done with this, if at all possible, by 11. And it's 10:50 for me right now. I wanted to be able to go get a Pokestop before midnight. I don't want to lose my streak. I normally would have gone on a walk after dinner or maybe before dinner, and then I would have been getting ready for bed by now. But I wanted to get this done. So determined. It's gonna be great. I don't know if I've ever gotten my Christmas card illustration or art done before December even started. Alright, now the next little detail I want to do. So under their eyes, since these are supposed to be, their eyes are supposed to be depressions in the snow, like someone just went like this into the snow. So I'm going to do a little white highlight underneath, which I hope will help give that impression. Or if not, I think it'll just look nice. I'm not sure how this glitter is going to look in the printed version or the digital version of this, but it looks really cool in real life, I think. This is one I might frame next year and enter it into the fair. But I'll be making a lot of art between now and then, so who knows what I'll like enough to put in there. Especially since I'll be back in school, so I might like learn some new technique or something. Be guided by a professor to how to improve my art. There's still a lot of stuff I have to learn. Like, I've never taken the drawing classes where you have a real person in there and you draw the person from life. Not done that one. I've done the first level drawing class, and it's so boring. You just draw jars and stuff for a whole semester. Jars and cloth and, like, I don't know, junk, really. It's like, oh, here's a still life, and it's a bunch of old bottles and plastic forks and stuff. Glad I don't have to do that again. It's like, I appreciate what it taught me, but yeah, I don't want to do it again. Alright, time to move on to the man himself, Prince Bear. Prince Berry. I think the snow cats are good. Got the whiskers, got the eyes. Yep. So first I'm going to hopefully do just a few little tiny highlights on his tail. Turning out a bit thicker than I wanted, but too late now. There they are. And he needs... I can't stand the cuteness. Yay! I'm glad. That's the best compliment you could give me. I love making cute stuff. That makes me so happy. It makes it all worth it. All the work today, totally worth it. Just gonna add his guard hairs in his ear. Trying to have a light hand with his fur here, but it's really hard. I'm using this really small brush, but because of the nature of the paint itself, it doesn't want to make a thin line for me. Come on, paint, you can do it. Oh, that's way too thick. Oh well. Too late. Too late. There we go. There we go. And a little bit right there. Blend that one in. And that one. Now, time for this ear. I'm seriously glad you guys were able to come back for my last stream of the day / the week. I'm just like lonely in general right now because I'm like the only one in the house. So there's not really anyone to talk to, even if I wasn't streaming. Of course, I should be getting ready for bed by now, so that normally wouldn't be a problem, but since I'm still working, it's really, really great to have someone to talk to. It's just kind of like moral support. Gotta get this. Trying to thin the paint out, but it tends to get clumped up in the top of the bristles rather than at the tip. I'm gonna make a couple of thicker lines on this side on purpose to match the other side. There we go. That's the kind of line I was trying to get. Oh yeah, that looks good. Looks dang good. Okay, what else? I guess I can do him some whiskeys. Don't be lonely. I won't be with your help. Aw, Carletta, I'm glad you also enjoy chatting with me. It would be sad if you didn't. It's just great to... I kind of miss doing Artist Alley at fan conventions where I would sit at a table for like 8 to 10 hours a day. Because even though that kind of sucked, just sitting there the whole time, it was also nice because, you know, people would just come along because it was a convention, you know, hundreds or even thousands of people. Just chat with people all day. I'd be making art, and it'd be kind of like this environment, just working on stuff, but also casually chatting with people. Oh, Monk, you made a new Discord. You can send me the link if you want. You can get back in there. And be a super awesome community again. Yeah. Oh, that reminds me, Carletta, you need to send me your Instagram. I wonder if I just click on my... It usually suggests to me people from Facebook. So maybe it will let me know if I go in the app and search around a little bit. Gonna do little highlights on his tonguey. And the tiniest bit on his nosy. Not too much. I don't want his nose to be soaking wet or anything, but just show that healthy wet nose. What else? Maybe I'll do a little bit of highlights on his feet, along the outside lines of his fur. Except we can only virtually hug you. That's fine. That's enough. The feeling is there. Come on, paint. You can do it. Work with me here. In a nice, small, tapered tip. I knew I was supposed to send you something. Yay, I'm glad I reminded you. I didn't want to like nag about it or something, but since I was reminded. Alright, need a little more water on my brush. So hard to get that nice balance between the acrylic gouache and the water. Alright, I was doing his whiskers, that's right. Berry's whiskers. So, let's start right here. Ah, that's not enough. Need more white than that. It needs to stand out better. Okay, here we go. Attempt number 2. Come on, Whisker, let's do this. That's much better. Yay! There. Woohoo! One. Let's do the other side. Mika, I have a message for you. Ooh, what is it? Aw, you're so sweet. A lot of people only get support after they accomplish something. I'm here to support you before that. Go you. Aw, that is so cute. Thank you. I'm not going to forget that you guys were with me at the beginning. Because I am totally serious about making it. I mean, I've been working on my art career for over a decade, but only the last few years have I been able to be 100% like this is my job rather than this is my side thing that I do. And then this year in particular, I think it's because we got moved into the new house and I have a great studio to work in so I can really create without like fighting against my environment. I'm gonna make it. And I'm going to remember everybody who supported me, especially the people in the beginning. Because right now is the most important time. Every little bit of support, every like that someone gives me on Facebook means so much. Because I work so hard. And just trying to establish myself. Also improve my work and build up my portfolio. Sweet, your Discord link. I will click that as soon as I'm done streaming. Will I need to... I don't even remember how to join. I don't use Discord very much. I used it the most when you had your other community. Is there anything I'm going to have to do special to join? Or is it just like... just click join or something? Once you're there. Someone tried to invite me to the local Pokemon Go Discord today, but I'm like, I don't really get on there. Just do Pokemon Go on my own. Well, and with, if I happen to be with someone who does Pokemon Go, then I'll do it with them too, but I'm just so busy. I don't have time to like, oh, a raid is happening. I better get up and leave and go to it right now. That would be cool if I could do that. Alright. Another whisker. Time for another whisker. That's good. I'm trying to make them go a little bit into the sky so that you can really see them and they seem like they're in front of everything. Nerd. That's a compliment to me. Because I totally am. Self-proclaimed. I'm not just a nerd, I'm a geek. Sometimes I'm a dork. I'm all the things. I'm also an otaku. That's my most proudest one. But since in English it's not really an insult like it can be in Japan, it's easy to say it. Otaku. Yep, I love all that kind of stuff. Pokemon stuff. I just today got a new case to hold all my Nintendo Switch games because I already have too many to fit in the case that came with my Breath of the Wild game. I love Nintendo. They were my first, like, not handheld console. I was talking about this earlier, too. My siblings and I got an N64 for Christmas one year, maybe 1 or 2 years after they first came out, and from then on, we just always had Nintendo in the house. And then, of course, once the Wii came out, Nintendo was not just a system and family of games that I liked. It became my favorite of all the game console companies. So I think it's pretty good for Barry's whiskers. I could add more, but I don't want it to be too much. Well, maybe I'll do a little short one, because their whiskers do usually curve down like this, so I'll do one little short one on each side. GameCube. Oh man, I never got to play Mario Sunshine. It's like by now there's so many other games. Like I've played almost all the Wii ones and the Wii. Oh no, because I didn't play Wii U definitely. I didn't play Super Mario Galaxy, and I always wanted to play that one too. But GameCube was tough for me because it was at, like, I think I was in junior high or beginning in high school, so I wasn't old enough to have a job, and although my family did get one, I lived with the other parent, so I rarely got to play it. So even all the cool games came out on it, I only played a couple of them. Okay, this whisker needs a little bit more help. That's funny. I just remembered you say GameCube is where it's at, and my friend Jeremy, my friend from high school, was in my chat at my first stream today, and he said a really similar thing. He said that the GameCube controller is still the best controller ever. A lot of love for GameCube, even though it didn't financially do that well. I even saw a post recently on Facebook where someone they're like defending GameCube like all these years later, and they're like, there's no good games for GameCube? And then they had this list, like, boom, 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 and I recognized tons of the names. Alright, I think I'm on to the best part, which is his eyes, and I had a great idea I'm gonna do. Normally, I just do like that anime style one big swipe of a highlight. But when we set up our Christmas tree, we have an artificial Christmas tree we put up every year. My cats were under it, and I saw their eyes just sparkling with the lights from the tree. And it was just in the top half of the eye, and I'm like, oh, that's perfect. That can be like the stars shining in Bear's eyes. So that's how I'm gonna highlight his eyes this time, not just the standard anime style. I'm gonna do a really, really different way, really specific way this time. I agree, it's a very centered controller. Too bad Jeremy isn't here right now. His username is Sukechi Niu. I think you guys would get along really well. I had to tell him that what I've already told you, since I didn't really have much experience with the GameCube. The N64 controller is my favorite. I'm trying to make them like little circles, but it's not the brush doesn't want to be a circle. It wants to be like two angular points. Oh, this is looking great. Oh, I'm getting so excited. This is exactly what I wanted. When I saw their eyes in the Christmas tree, I was like, I have to do this. It's gonna look awesome. And it's turning out. It's turning out just how I hoped. I've never done highlights in an eye like this. I think if I wasn't doing this around Christmas, there's no way I would have thought of it. Because I'm like one of those Christmas freaks. I love Christmas so much. I think it's because it's the one time of year that my family tried really hard to get along, and it was just important to everyone, so Christmas was always happy memories for me. No bad memories from Christmas. Oh, Barry, you're so beautiful. Your favorite controller is the triangular composition. What? What do you mean? Am I missing a joke? The triangular composition? I'm so confused. I feel like I'm missing a joke. Alright, is that enough or should I add a little bit more? Ooh, I know. I'm going to do just one little. I'll try to make this as small as possible. I'm going to do just a little rim of highlight at the bottom. It's super teeny tiny as possible though. Pretty sure I did this with at least one of my other kitty illustrations this year. This little lower highlight thing. You just like triangular compositions? I hope I get to learn some more about composing art in school, because most of what I've learned on my own. Because when I was in school before, in university I mean, you know, you do the basic classes first. So I didn't really get much specific teaching for the kind of art that I want to learn to do. But I have learned a lot on my own, so I don't know, maybe there's not much else they can teach me. We'll see. I'm sure there's plenty I don't know. I'm not that arrogant. I know it's like the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. And I'm actually really excited because the illustration, I guess professor, he's like the leader of the whole illustration program, and he teaches all the illustration classes. He has actually had a book published by a major publisher, which is like my dream. That's my goal. So if anybody can teach me something about how to reach that goal, it'll be him. I'm happy that you're streaming at weird hour today. I'm glad you're able to join me. I know I say that every time, but it's true. Normally by now I would be asleep. Or maybe I would be like languishing on the couch watching something. That's how determined I am, though. It's already 23:17. Dang it, I'm so close to done, but this is more important than my Pokestop streak. I'm seriously almost done, so I think I'll be okay. I'll just drive to a Pokestop. It's so late I don't want to someone was attacked in my county actually today. I read about that because someone shared an article from a local news source, so no way I'm walking this late by myself. I just drive to the Pokestop in safety of my car. How's that? Oh, Bear, your eyes are so beautiful and sparkly. Ah, I have such a busy work day. Is it your weekend now? Do you have a normal style Monday through Friday type of thing? Because if it is, then at least you get to relax. You can relax and then take the weekend off. Not worry about anything, maybe. I don't know what you have on your plate. I hope you can relax. Or at least maybe you're relaxing right now. That would be good. Gosh, I think I might be done. The only thing is, let's see, I need a pen. It's a simple black pen. This is waterproof, permanent, ultrafine. I think this will work. Ugh. I'll try it. I just want to revive my signature here. It's been covered up by the gouache. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I still want it to be visible. There, that's probably good enough. Aw, I'm supposed to have a somewhat normal schedule, but I always volunteer for pain. Brave, brave person. I think that doing that extra work always pays off in the end, though. Someone always notices, someone appreciates it. Still be good if you have time to take for yourself once in a while, though. You gotta de-stress for your health. I've been starting to accept that about myself recently. I'm finding that I'm like, oh, I can just jump into the next project, and then I'm like, my mind is dead. So even though, like, oh, physically, technically, I can start my next project, but my motivation is completely gone. I just gotta give myself a few days to not think about anything, and then I can start working on the next thing. Now I'm just gonna look this over. Make sure there's nothing really obvious that I'm just missing because I've been looking at it all day. I'll take my glasses off. Take my glasses off, look at it a different way. Also see it on the camera screen, that always helps too. On vacation from December 22nd to January 1st. Ooh. That's really nice. 22nd to January 1st. But volunteered to take a 24-hour shift away from a coworker I know that has kids. Oh, you really are so nice. The shift was on Christmas Eve. I'm sure, it's just like I said, I'm sure he really appreciates that then, because, like, I remember Christmas was so important. I was just saying, it's so important to the whole family. So being able to spend it with your family is just a huge gift. It'll definitely come out. It'll come out for you in karma. And you'll get good things will come to you because of the good things that you're doing for other people. Well, everybody, I really think I'm done. Yay! Although I'm not 100% done, but I can call this done, and then I'll go get my Pokestop And if I'm feeling like it when I get back home, I'm going to scan it in and order the postcards, order my greeting cards, because I'm going to send it as greeting cards to my family. That's the whole reason I ever started making these, was because I was like, oh, I can just make my own greeting cards. And that's where it all started from. Oh, and I think I still have time to get bundled up and go out and get a Pokestop. So, this is it. This is my Christmas illustration. I'm all done. It took me about, I don't know, how many hours? 3 hours this stream, so like I said, 7 hours total work today, not including the ink. Oh, thank you so much, Monk and Carletta, for joining me. I know I've said it a million times, but it really did make a difference to have you here with me throughout the day. Just really encouraging. I think that's why I was able to keep going, even though when it became dinner time, I was like, maybe I should just not come back. But I really wanted to finish it, and having you here was like, yes, it was worth it. But I better stop talking or I am going to run out of time. Oh, it's so beautiful. You deserve all the hugs. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'll be back next Friday. It won't be anything like this because it's going to be a secret project for Christmas. But I'm gonna leave now.